Hey everyone, it's Nifty Degen, aka the Bonefida Intern, and today we're going to take a further look into Records V2 and specifically look at the Ethereum record. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Records V2, we did do a more in-depth video about this previously, which I will link above. But to quickly recap you, Records V2 is our initiative to improve on-chain trust, and we're doing this in a couple of different ways. Firstly, we've created a way for dApps to verify that a record is not stale. Now, that just means that a record wasn't set up by a previous owner, it was set up by the current one. If you're a developer, you definitely don't want a record that was set up by a previous owner to tell you anything about the current one. And secondly, we've created a way to verify the authenticity of a record, and we do this by engaging both on-chain and off-chain oracles to verify the ownership and legitimacy of a record. Definitely check out our previous video that goes more into detail about this. So today we'll be looking at the Ethereum record from both the perspective of a domain owner as well as the perspective of a developer. Now we're going to focus on the verification aspect of this for Records V2. If you're a developer looking to verify the staleness of the Ethereum record, the method is actually the same as all the other V2 records, and we've got more information about this in our developer docs or in the video that we linked previously. The Ethereum record is the Ethereum wallet address of the domain owner, and it's a bit unique, but it's nothing too complicated to set up. As a domain owner, as more dApps roll out support for these updated records, you might want to set up this Ethereum record for your domain, and I'll show you how to do that now. All right, let's head on over to SNS.id, and we're going to want to connect our wallet. And from here, we'll navigate to View Profile. Now, in our profiles, we can see all of the domains that we own and decide which one that we want to set up our Ethereum record for. I've got a favorite domain set up, so that's the one I'm going to use. Now, it's important to note that Records V2 is still in beta, so you're going to want to make sure that this beta switch is toggled on. And once that's done, we'll be able to see all of our V2 records. So let's go ahead and click on the edit icon for our Ethereum record and paste in our Ethereum wallet address. Click next and click update. And we're going to see a transaction pop up. Let's go ahead and approve the transaction. Great, once the transaction is complete, you will see a verify button pop up right next to your Ethereum record. We're going to want to click on this. Now, these next couple of screens will give you instructions step by step into what you need to do, but I will go through them with you as well. So we want to click on the Etherscan link that has been provided to us and go ahead and click on sign message. Now you will get a pop-up that's saying that this feature is in beta. That's okay, go ahead and click OK. And let's connect our Ethereum wallets. Now, we need to go back to SNS.id. Let's click next, and they give us the message that we need to paste into Etherscan. So let's go ahead and paste that message here and click sign. Now your MetaMask or Ethereum wallet will pop up. Let's go ahead and sign the message. And once it's signed successfully, all we need to do is take the signature hash, copy it over. Let's click on next here and paste over the signature hash. You'll see another transaction pop up. Let's go ahead and approve. And that's it. Now you'll see that ownership is verified and the record has been signed by the domain owner. It really is that simple from a domain owner's perspective, but if you're a developer or you're curious about what it looks like to fetch this data in code, stick around. Let's go through some examples. Now, I have a boilerplate Next.js application set up here, and it's using many of the same libraries that most Solana dApps use, but specific to our use case is going to be these imports from the Bonefida SPL name service library. That's going to be the VerifyRightOfAssociation method, the record type, and the getRecordV2 method as well. So the VerifyRightOfAssociation method is the one we'll actually use to verify the authenticity of a record. Now we'll need to pass it a connection object, the record that we want to get an ROA for, in this case ETH, and the domain. And I'm going to use the domain that I just set up my Ethereum record on. Unique to ETH and even Sol records actually is going to be the verifier. Now, generally this is the known public key of the oracle that we want to use, but since ETH and Sol records are self-signing, the verifier we need to pass is actually the content of the record itself, and I'll show you how to get that. So let me go ahead and set up variables for now for the connection, the record, and the domain. And we'll need to use the getRecordV2 method to actually get the content of our record to pass as a verifier. That method returns a promise. So let me go ahead and set up an asynchronous function, and I'll call getRecordV2 in that function. The getRecordV2 method takes a connection, domain, and record. Since we already have those set up as variables, we'll just pass it here. And once we have the retrieve record, we can go ahead and call the VerifyRightOfAssociation method. So let's do that now. Now let's go ahead and pass the connection variable, record, domain. And for verifier, the way we access the content of our retrieved record is by using the get content method. And so it would just be something like retrieve record.get content, and we'll call it. Great. Now let me go ahead and console log our response. And finally, I will call this fetch ROA function. And let's take a look in our console. And you'll see that the ROA is true because I set up the right of association by verifying my Ethereum record. So nothing too complicated, neither from the domain owner's end or from the developer's end, but the utility is so powerful. Being able to verify your Ethereum record for your .sol domain just feels like another step forward to a cross-chain future. And again, we think the apps in the ecosystem are going to get really creative with this, so we're excited to see what you devs cook up. We're always around. If you guys have questions, whether you're a user, whether you're a developer, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter or on Discord. And until next time, intern out.